We from that cassette era, you know what I'm saying? That purple tape era, that Nas Illmatic era, that Dr. Dre, Chronic, Snoop Dogg era, you know what I mean? We bouncing all over the place with this right here. We taking it from the south, from the west to the east, to the north, Midwest. We taking this globally, man. Like, you gotta see that. Like, we going all over the place with this, man. Europe, shout out to Africa. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to New Zealand, Australia. Yo, we going everywhere with this. This is that real. You looking for that real hip hop? You need that real hip hop in your life? You need the International Reem Supreme Show.
Hey, I'm in my habitat right now, man. The wife and the kids got the crib all shattered down. Like usually during the day, during the week, some days during the week, man, I be having the crib to myself. Kids be at school, wife got to be at the office. Me, I'm my job. I have to be in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So I can pull up at the crib at any given time. So that would be my backdrop right now, man. But this my workplace right here. A lot of work, a lot of bars been produced back here.
You didn't record.
I already did.
Oh, all right.
All right, so yo, man, listen, man. I always start these things off by explaining my journey to the artist, right, or to the music. So, just to give a little background, you know what I mean? I've been living in Houston for a long time, born and raised in New York, been in Houston a long time. And I had to keep the vibe going for me, you know what I mean? And at the time, you know, I'm early 2000s or whatever, I'm discovering MF Doom, I'm discovering Mad Lib, you know what I'm saying? I'm keeping up with Dilla at the time, you know what I mean? Alchemist at the time, you know, I've always been able to, what keeps me going is when hip hop gets whacked or when it gets stalled, I always follow the DJs and I always follow the producers, you know what I mean? So, and on top of that, I can gauge it because I'm not chasing the chart chasing artists, you know what I mean? If you make it there, cool, you know what I mean? Jadakiss was on the charts. I fuck with Jada until when he stopped rapping, I'm still gonna fuck with him because I fuck with all this old shit. So me being, you know, a huge Boot Camp Click fan, we are all huge Boot Camp Click fans.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you gotta understand, from Buckshot on up, from Enter the Stage on up, we seen them come into the game with their own shit, bring their crew. And what made it so dope was they brought their crews in almost like one at a time. You know what I mean? First it was Black Moon, and then it was Helter Skelter. No, Smith and Wesson. Then it was Helter Skelter. Then it was OE. Then they started rocking shit together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The Skelter album, I give all the credit to the nigga wearing the wackest hat.
Whatever.
Fuck them cowgirls, man.
It is. This is what it is.
But nah, for real, all the credit goes to that man right there because he was the first one amongst our crew who had got the tape. You know what I mean? And we listened to that shit every day. We listened to that shit all day. It was the hottest shit out. It was nothing else to fucking listen to. So right. I remember when they had that huge gap of time, right? Helter Skelter put out Dirt. They had this whole gap of time where you ain't hear shit from Ruck or from Rock. Because at this time, he's still Ruck to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then he comes out as Sean Price. Now, let's not get it twisted. Rest in peace to the God. We miss you, man. He always said his names on the tracks. That's where Sean don't give up. You know what I mean? He always said his name on the track. So when he came out as Sean Price, I was like, word, let's see what we gonna do. That nigga dropped monkey bars. I'm the only nigga in Houston banging monkey bars. In the cold. Well, it ain't cold down there, but you know, when it's cold down there, I'm rocking a hoodie. They got bubble jackets. And from that moment, I was stuck, B. Anything that fucking Sean was on, I was on. The fucking Mike Tyson mixtape, fucking classic, B. The way he fucking ripped that sample, that I believed everything Sean Price ever said. Real talk. As outlandish as it might sound, that nigga said, I'll punch a school bus. I believe that motherfucker would have put a hole.
Facts. Big facts.
I got a chance to hear, if I'm not mistaken, this is the last album before he passed. Yeah. No, this was on the Purple album. This was on
Songs in the Key of Price.
Songs in the Key of Price. Man, I went the fuck off when I woke up to that news. My man Jarvis, shout out to my man Jarvis. He was with me when I first played the album. We was leaving my crib, going to the liquor store. There's a brand of bourbon they only sell in Texas. They make it in Texas. It's a peach bourbon. Man, I got some plastic cups. That shit was banging. And I was like, pour up. I don't never drink and drive. Let's get it twisted. I don't drink and drive. So I'm going to lie a little bit. We sat there for a long, long time.
Yes, sir. Please drink responsibly.
Yeah.
And I heard this dude. Now, I got to explain my process, right? I don't read album titles. I throw it on. You know what I mean? I hit play, because now we in this digital world, right? So it's not like even you got something in your fucking hand to look at it. You know what I mean? And I missed that shit. I read the credits. Yeah. That's how I learned who was who and what was what.
Right.
So now today, I just hit play, put the phone down, and do whatever the fuck I'm doing. So I'm always surprised when I hear, another artist. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they got, because I was never expecting this shit. And I hear dude Vic, man, and Vic talking about he lived next door to an 8. My wife keep complaining. I knew I should have married weed. I said, oh shit, hold up. Hold up.
Salute, sir.
Right.
That's me. I've been there a million times over. Mm-hmm. I didn't live next door to an 8 though. I lived next door to my OG. His name is Bill. Bill, a heavy set dude, you know what I mean? Bill's one of the realest dudes, man. His name is Bill Lockwood. Shout out to you, sir, my OG from the shop, man. And immediately I could relate and I wanted to hear more, man. And then I got my hands on an album called St. George's. And I listened to that shit and I was stuck. I was stuck on Loop God and I was stuck on another track. And I just remember being like, yo, this dude got his own lane. It is so fucking clean that it's his, my G. Because now when you step back and look at it, right? You start looking at the game as a whole. You start looking at regions as a whole and all these other rappers and all these other MCs. There's a motherfucking difference.
Mm-hmm.
He is not like anyone else out the shop. No one else, dog. From the legends to whoever's popping now. And still, with his new album, and I always fuck it up because I want to say psychology, but it's
psychological cheat sheet.
Psychological. Say it again.
Psychological cheat sheet.
One more time.
Psychological cheat sheet.
For people who are listening to this podcast, if y'all don't know that voice, you're gonna learn today, motherfuckers. And for all of y'all who's been sitting here watching this whole time, if you didn't recognize that voice or this face, you're gonna learn today, motherfuckers. This is my man's and Vic Spencer, man.
Yo.
Shout out,
boy.
yeah.
So, I'm gonna set this off and I'm gonna put you on your heels immediately.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is St. George's?
St. Gregory. St. Gregory is it needs to be put back up. So during this quarantine time, I promised to put it back up. I had I didn't remove it on purpose. I just was going through some crazy times at the time, and I was trying to put like all of the rawest albums of mine in like a hard copy type of ordeal, and the plan didn't work out. So now I just got to put everything that I removed back up. And St. Gregory is one of those most asked about projects that's been missing off the grid for a while now. I got to put it back up. It means a lot to me. That's my high school. You know what I'm saying? I graduated in 99. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to have something that represented what I listened to back then. So that's what the album really was about, like some high school shit, big headphones, triple fat goose, Timberlands in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? I was heavily influenced by East Coast rap at the time when I started penning shit. So, you know what I mean? And that was a bigger platform for me. It kept me all out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? I of course I would have to do what every young black motherfucker had to do, gang bang and survive and do that shit. Cause going through Latin King areas, you had to be geared up and prepared for that type shit. But the shit that kept me out of trouble the most was music that I listened to. And I think St. Gregory was the music that represented that. You know what I'm saying? Every track. That's why the album was so long. It had like hella songs on there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because back in the day, it was hella songs on albums. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Yeah. And you know
crazy
what?
shit on there.
And this is what we see, and you've seen as an artist, as the time goes by, albums are getting shorter.
Right? Yeah.
What's your take on that? Is it a good thing?
I still call them EPs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still call them just EPs, man. Like, I think that the approach is correct because people are, you know what I'm saying? People mind spans is getting shorter. So people are trying to catch up with the actual times. But I feel like that is a trait within yourself. If you're giving yourself to people, then if it's fucking 50 minutes, then you give the motherfuckers that shit. You know what I'm saying? You give them that shit. That's my take on it. Like I think it's cheating almost. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll come from an artist that you will be anticipating. It had like 7 songs and be like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They teasing, they got hella songs, they got hella shit they could have released. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and then it could be a politic game, you know, that probably be in the contract now. Like, man, you gotta put out 7 songs now, man. People ain't listening to the book, listening to 12 songs and skits and shit no more. So I try to reform, man. You know what I mean? I respect it. I respect it. I've listened to some motherfucking 7-track albums. But am I going to do it? No, I'm going to double that.
Yeah. But you know what you said? You dropped a jewel in there, man, and I want to expound on that. You said that sometimes it could be in the contract. All you can do is X amount of songs on an album. Right. That reminded me of one of the Roots albums. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was either Things Fall Apart or Illadelph Half-Life, where if you forgot, you know, you walked out of the room and you came back, you was like, wait, what the fuck is this playing? Because it used to have the hidden tracks. You know what I'm saying? Jill Scott did it too. She had a dope hidden track with Mos Def. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So is that the science behind the hidden tracks? Like, I want to give my artists these, even though I'm not contractually.
You know what that is? You know what that is? That's a good question, man. You know what it is? I remember like hearing tracks, like when you listen to like any artist, you know what I'm saying? And then you listening to their album and they got a switch up. And it's always cold as fuck. Like every time, you know what I'm saying? Like shouts to Alchemist. Like he's the giant at that shit. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, oh fuck, you hear these crazy. And that's where that shit comes from. But the hit, like I want to give more. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you gonna do 7 tracks, have 7 hidden tracks. Shit, less is more. I fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with it. But you know, I love doing those double joints, like, cause it shows me in my arrangement mode. You know what I'm saying? I'm arranging all this shit. It's not the producer. Producer might send me a duffel of shit, and I go through that shit, and then I'll be like, hey, these 2 beats sound good together. Or it's a dope ass contrast. Let me put these shits together. You go ahead, and it works out in my favor because you know that's what I do. But
right.
Man, I believe I like that shit. I like giving more. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why my style is like that kind of. it forces me to do that because it's like I want to give more. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk about one thing on one song. I want to talk about 500 things on one song, and then you get 500 more things on another song. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know what I mean? That's how I want to. That's how I want to peel it out. You know what I'm saying? That's my workout. You know what I'm saying?
Taraji, what you got up?
Listen, I want to say this. When I put the album in, and I heard
Wait. What you put the album in?
I'm sorry. It's just, I'm old school, bro. You know how I go, I'm old school, bro. Shouts out to you, Vic, real fast. Listen, when I let that shit play, and this instrumentation, so I'm getting like you listen to a bunch of different shit, right? Outside of R&B, like I dig that. I could hear that in just a different, the different tracks and stuff. I want to say, we were just talking about the number of tracks on the album. You did something, and I'm gonna go way back to 90 something. There's a Dark Side. That man had many tracks on that album. You did that, sir. Salute to you for that. Salute to you for that. And then me and my Conrad crew was having a conversation off camera about something. I was like, man, he go dope with Doom. You said something about, bruh.
Yes,
You
sir.
the real one. You got the lane, bruh. For real. Peace to you. Peace to you.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Now, Doom one of my top motherfuckers, man. He in my top 5.
Sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like I remember when I remember buying Mad Villainy because of the artwork. Like of course I knew who Mad Lib was, but shit, I still was at that age where shit, I was still into heavy locks, heavy New York mixtapes was heavy at that time, and I was heavy on that. So it was one time I was in Virgin music store looking for some Ninth Wonder shit like
Remember that Virgin
at the time. I'm fucking with that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking for more of that shit, and I stumble across the Mad Villainy. You know what I mean? So I picked it up. You know what I'm saying? This is after it was released. I was like, this shit looks fucking crazy. You know what I mean? And I played that shit, and it changed my whole shit, man. Like, Doom is a motherfucker, man, that got that shit, man. It hit me in a different place. Like, you know what I'm saying? Doom is one of those guys. So heavily influenced by his charisma and his wittiness, definitely.
Yeah. So I gotta hop in real quick, because I want to make sure I touch on that.
Okay.
Yo, Vic, how long did it take you to realize when they did that skit where he was like, we got Quasimodo in the house, Victor Vaughn, you remember that skit?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to figure out that he was just talking about himself and Madlib and all the different personalities?
It took me to go dig back into his catalog. And then I started hearing more Victor Vaughn and shit. I'm like, oh shit. So this is a whole fucking personality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because at the time, I hadn't heard, same shit. So at the time, I hadn't heard Victor Vaughn. I didn't hear King Ghidorah, excuse me. I didn't hear those albums at that point. This is my my LimeWire days. This is when I used to kill my computer all the fucking time.
Virus game.
Word.
Then you go and get that shit running and do it all over again.
Word up. So then I started hearing Quasimodo from Madlib. And then it was just one chance, one of them times you'd be like, yo, I just need that real shit. You throw that shit on. And then I got to this skit and I'm grooving like I always do. And I was like, wait a minute, wait. This nigga was talking about him and Madlib the whole time. Like he was naming mad heads, even the dude at the laundromat. I was like, yo, that shit is crazy. So, hopping into the album, man. Man, first off, I wish I would have told you ahead of time that I would have loved the opportunity to have your man, August Fanon. Yo, that's what made his name cool. You made his name cool. You was like, August Fanon, we ain't Fanon. I was like,
You definitely dope as shit.
And I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it a whole buck.
I'm fucking with that. That's dope, yo.
Hold on.
That's fucking fire.
I'm gonna keep it a whole buck though. I didn't know exactly what you said the first couple of times I listened to the album. So I thought like y'all was a gang and you shouted out the gang like, no. I was like, yo, these niggas is about to set it off. And then later on in the album, you just called them. You was like, yo, August Fanon, man. And I was like, wait a minute. Oh, that's just one person. Okay, hold on. So I hopped on genius.com. Shout out to them. I couldn't find much information on the album, but I kind of got it from that point because the rhythm, the theme of the album can only be produced by one producer like that. So I got it at that point. How did you and him come to meet?
And this was about like 4 or 5 years ago. He's always been like a super fan of my shit. Like, I think he liked a lot of my shit that I'm like truly set. Like, I'm the guy that put St. Gregory together. I'm the guy that put Cost of Victory together. Like all Bar Wounds. Like when you listen to those sonically, it's different producers. You know what I'm saying? And it's me clashing different sounds together. And I think that's what August Fanon represent. I think that's what he represents. And I think that he understood that when he reached out to me. He just reached out to me on some humble shit. Like, man, yo, I want to send you some shit. He started sending me shit. And the shit started accumulating to like, man, let's do an album. You know what I'm saying? And I was working on the album for 2 years, you know what I'm saying, before it came out. Like, seriously, like working on it, like just getting beats. And that's how we just came up with the album. But even then, it's more deeper than that. Like, it ain't nothing to show.
Hey, yo, flag on the play. My bad. Sorry. Yo, my bad. I was supposed to end that last part of the video, like, on a smooth transition. And now I'm trying to make this one, and this one ain't it either. So it's a great time to just say, yo, good looking on watching us so far. I hope you're enjoying the interview with Vic Spencer. He's really dope. And I'll let y'all take it from here.
Alright, so Vic Spencer got some new material coming out. He got a new album coming out within the next couple of weeks. It's called No Shore Skips. Be on the lookout for it. Once it comes out, we're gonna blow it up as well. Make sure you like, share, follow.
Please like, share, follow, subscribe, all that.
All right.
Me and August Fanon, when I never met him, but we look identical. You know what I'm saying? I've never met him. He's from Dallas.
So you ain't been to Dallas, he ain't left Dallas, and you ain't met him?
No, not at all.
How long have y'all known each other?
I never met. He just send me hella joints. I tell him, you know, this is the joint I want to use, and then I send him a reference, and then that be, you know what I'm saying? And then I check in with him all the time because, you know, I feel like, man, you know, when I'm working with a producer, it appears that I need to know them. Like, I need to know them. Like, I need to be, you know, even in, you know, in times where I probably couldn't, like, sit in the studio, because I like to sit in the studio and work with the producer or work with the artist. If I'm getting a feature, I like that type of interaction, you know what I'm saying? I like that energy, you know what I'm saying? So, but I've mastered working with artists and producers outside of that, you know what I'm saying? By, you know, getting to know them outside of the internet and outside of that shit. So, you know, me and August Fanon talks about different things, like especially with the mental health issues that's going on out in the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, my shit was fucked up. My life was fucked. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I never had like no real ass platform to say it or share it with somebody. So August Fanon was that person. August Fanon was a person that removed himself from the internet, you know what I'm saying, after being diagnosed with, you know, a disorder. You know what I mean? And that shit, you know, like I feel like he as a producer don't have a voice for that. You know what I'm saying? Like not even thinking about just the whole physical aspect of that, but the fact that I can create music that'll speak for him. That's what psychological cheat sheet is, because was sent to a crazy home, Grant Hospital. I never forget it, where people thought I was diagnosed with something, and I wasn't. I sat in the place for 14 days, and that's why it's 14 tracks on that album, because You know what I'm saying? That's my publishing shit. 14-day notice is my publishing shit. Like all through the system is the 14-day notice shit. You know what I'm saying? So I had to spend 14 days in that shit. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't diagnosed with nothing, but August Fanon was. But I was in that same situation. So when we started putting the album together, that's what I started looking at. The psychological cheat sheet. That's what it was. Like I started looking at it like I found a way to defeat what type of trauma that I've had. Another component, you know what I'm saying, without going nuts. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always say I'm nuts on the album. That's why I said it, man. Like, man, that's why they put me in the crazy home, because nigga, I'm nuts. I said that. Like, I've never said on any song ever. Like, I've never had a platform to speak about that traumatic moment. And August Fanon gave me the platform. You know what I'm saying? Because he's been through it. He's living it right now. Like, he removed himself. He's back now. Everything's back good now. But I check on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, bro, you all right, man? Everything good? Yeah, man, I'm all good. And it shows through the production, because it embodies me to just be me. All those beats that I picked, all those songs that I arranged, like I was in there producing too. Like, I took certain shit from beats and looped shit up. Like, Luke God was all through psychological cheat sheet. You know what I'm saying? But it's all August Fanon. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have the ability to kill that record. You know what I'm saying? That album is the most vulnerable I've ever been on albums.
Okay, cool. So walk me through like some of the titles, because you got some wild ass titles, man. From
I'm like, Jello Bowl.
Hold on. We gonna stay in the crazy home for a minute. We got Rehab, Resort, I Hate Swallowing Pills, Vitamin V,
Jello Bowl
Juice. I'm gonna throw that in there. Which one's cool?
Jello Bowl, my joint. I know I like it was Friends the dumb word.
Friends the dumb word. That's
a great song right there.
The one right there.
That was right there.
Let me say one thing.
That song right there means a lot, because we all know a lot of people who we thought that was friends came out to be some shady ass motherfuckers.
Man,
I was like, yo, that right there hit definitely the topic song title.
That shit is real. I feel like, man, it wasn't me. I feel like it wasn't me, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you, man, because when I said that shit, when I do songs, the title come last. You know what I'm saying? The title always come last. You know what I'm saying? We be in the studio, me and my engineer go back and forth on song titles longer than the song tape being recorded. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, before he bounce it out, like, man, what you calling this? I don't know, man. Shit, man. It just, you know what I'm saying? But then I started thinking about what I was talking about. Like, yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through this right now. So, yeah, this is it right here. You know what I'm saying? This is a healing component. This is a healing. This is a song for the healing.
Right, but Vic, that's my question.
I knew it was going to catch a flame, man, because I've listened to music and know when something caught a flame to me. Like, man, that's the one. That's the dagger. You know what I'm saying? Even though my favorite song's not that song, but I knew that was the song. That was the one.
Are we talking about
you want to know my favorite one?
We talking about Friends is a dumb word.
Friends is a dumb word. That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
All right, so I'm in the crib, you know, and I say, Alexa, play the latest album from Vic Spencer. Bitch, don't play. I say it again. Bitch can't find it. I said, play Friends is a dumb word. Playing Friends is a dumb word by Vic Spencer.
Alexa, no song titles. Alexa, no song titles.
She said, you got to address me correctly.
Yo, all I know is this, man. If you look at your analytics and you're like, damn, I keep getting these spins from somewhere in some fucking Katy, Texas or some shit. That's me. That's my day job, bumping your shit on my route. But
Yes,
you had a
sir.
question about what, beat section or something?
Vic, man, man, it's so much, man. It's just so much. I've been taking notes for the last couple of days, getting ready for this interview that we're doing.
Let's go.
So I just want to touch on one of the things that you said just previously, asking you, finally being able to convey that message or let go of that information. Was it uplifting from you? Do you feel relief, like when you hear that song and it's played after you recorded it, you know what I'm saying, after everything is going on, when you sit back, do you feel relief that you was able to let that off? It's got to feel gratifying.
Hell yeah. Just temporarily though. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that rush to want to do it, it always gonna come back to it. Always gonna be part of that exact feel. Like, you know what I'm saying? I definitely be healed. Like friends is a dumb word. Definitely, man, overjoyed. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that it touched other people, that's what overjoyed. That's the win for me. Because it's like, as an artist, your responsibility is to bring people into your world, man. I think that's the biggest responsibility of us artists. And if I do that, if I execute that, I've exceeded. You know what I'm saying? And everybody talks about Francis' dumb word. It was like, man, yeah, that's the one. Like every time, and every time somebody go say that, I go listen to it from a different perspective. I listen to it from that person's perspective. You know what I'm saying? Even they might just say, man, shit, man, Francis is a dumb word, man. I felt all of that, even the harmonies at the end. I just go listen to it based off what he just said to me. You know what I'm saying? Not even me as an artist. Like, I like to observe myself after I'm done listening to the raps, because I got a crazy ass engineer. He's not gonna let me record no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna stop me. You know what I mean? And he's not done that for a long ass time. And I've been like happy as hell about that. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm around people that's going to tell me, nah. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm listening to this shit, I'm listening from everybody else's point of view. You know what I'm saying? That's what keeps me sharp. I keep listening to them. A lot of my guys like, man, I know you in there listening to your shit, so play that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm listening to it from another ear. Like I feel like I got this dope ass ear as a producer, as like putting all these beats in one album. I feel like I got that down to a T. But what keeps that fly? What keeps that dope? You know what I'm saying? So you gotta think about that. So that's why I was like, man, shit, I'm gonna listen from other people's perspective, shit. And that's what's gonna make me wanna tap into my own shit and be, and that's why it's so creative. That's why it is so dope. And I can back it up myself. Like, it ain't one of those shits like, yeah, I created an album and yeah, it's one to one. No, it's really me in that motherfucker. Putting in that shit, putting in that work, and then actually seeing that shit from somebody else. Like you said, you like, man, shit. Do you feel healed? Do you feel like, hell yeah, because somebody else got it. Somebody else done tapped in. Like I tapped in.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? And I start regulating with that shit. Like that shit like some other type of powers or some shit, man. I don't know what that is. But that shit is ill. I fuck with it heavy.
And you know, another reason, another thing that's crazy. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, School. I can hold mine.
My bad. I was saying, like, when I first played it, I'm not gonna lie, I played it like 4 or 5 times and everything. So I'm like, yo, I really, you know what I'm saying? I could really vibe to this because, like I said before, like, you got people out there who say they're your friends and this, that, third, and they come and stab in the back and everything. And it's a touchy song, but on a serious note and everything. And that's why I say, yo, that's one of my favorite songs on there. That and I think I said Jello Bowl.
Yeah.
Jello Bowl for the stupidity.
Yeah. Now with Jello Bowl is the hook. I like the hook. He was like, I think it said, women turn their heads like doorknobs, hard throb ever, black never.
Yes, sir.
That's the Biggie. Yes, sir. Biggie. I stay victimized to the socks.
Yeah, goodbye to the socks. Rings, yo.
No rings and watch, they still jock.
So you know what? Let me
the whole joint is fire. Them two songs I play constantly.
Let me hop in for a second because that ties in to what I wanted to say about friends is a dumb word. I can believe you when you say that Doom is in your top 5 because when I listen to Friends is a Dumb Word, I hear bam, 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 bam. Friends, that's what you call them. They call you when they need some. Trees for the blunt, feet, shoes for the front. I heard deep fried Friends every time I hear Friends is a dumb word. And then because I am in tap with the true culture of motherfucking hip hop, I also hear Houdini Friends, which Doom lifted to make his record. You know what I mean? So I see this chain of influence of pure fucking dope, man. And with me being big as a god in New York, I don't give a fuck who say what, B. I wish if I could get Big and Big Pun to come down to do one record together, that would be my wish, B. But other than that, I've always told people, man, that Big, what made him so dope as an MC was he wasn't rapping to you. He was talking to you in a lot of these songs. You know what I mean? And for you to take, that influence from Big, and what Big did with those lines for that song, and I heard it so many times, he gave so many big brothers the confidence. You know what I mean? Big, what did he say it? Black and ugly as ever. However,
man, I love it. I love that shit.
There's so many.
I love that shit.
There's so many brothers that's come to me like, yo, bro, like that line alone had me like, yo, word, I'm fly too. The thing that I can't stand about certain people, right, is they feel like success is based on a material thing. I don't really. Okay, look, I stunted. You're gonna watch the show, so you're gonna see me stunt in the beginning. But I had to stunt one time, right? But I only stunt. Okay, I own it. You see it, I got it. But what I appreciate, no, back to what I hate, right? So I hate to see a lot of motherfuckers standing in front of their cars or always holding up their jewelry, or it's like, nigga, now that we can't go outside, what the fuck is that gonna do? So to get something really dope from a dude that's like, man, I ain't got the Gucci socks. I'm victimized down to my socks. No rings and watch. They still job. You know how many bitches out without having a gold chain?
Yeah, that's a fact.
I ain't got one now.
Yeah.
That's that whole book right there. No rings or what, and they still clock. I'm like, yo, what else can you say?
I was peeping out the vibe of the album because, again, like I said, we was talking earlier off camera, and we was talking about the Doom shit, and I was just like, wow, that just blew me away. Just the whole musical instrumentation, then the way he was rhyming. You want to talk about 100 different things in one rhyme. I was peeping that out. I was like, oh man, because what I did was I listened to it, and then I got another friend of mine who I share music with. I'm like, yo, check this out. She was like, yo, he reminds me, he got some vibe to him. I said, yeah. And then she hit me later. She's like, some type of Camp Low type shit. I said, Lucchini? She said, yeah, I hear that. I said, word? I said, because I was thinking Doom. I said, but I heard a little Camp Low too. She said, yeah. I said, that collaboration. If you didn't collab with Doom or remix the Lucchini with I said, oh my God, that would blow the water off. She said, yeah. I said, man. So definitely this I'm gonna have to eat this whole album a couple times because it's that dope.
So on that note, Vic, you got some real heavy samples on here, brother. Remember I told you I was gonna ask you about that G card that you use at Denny's. You have to use the G card a couple of times over these samples for this record, man. Because don't you got a Marvin Gaye vocal on there? You got another vocal that sound like it's a Michael Jackson record. I mean, the samples, the soul samples is crazy, man. Like, was that you? Was that August? Was it a combo?
That's definitely August. Like, definitely August. Like, a lot of that shit, I don't even know where it came from. And I just like how that shit sound. Like, you know what I'm saying? I do hear, like, some of those songs I do know, like, some of the Marvin Gaye, definitely, the Mike Jack, definitely, you know what I'm saying? Some of them shit's definitely familiar. I just like how he flipped that shit. Like, like, if it touched my soul, then it's over with. Like, it's one of those type of ordeals with me. Like, I listen to beats like studio sessions. You know what I'm saying? I'll be back here in the same seat, and I have a whole hour.
So I'll be right here in the same seat.
I have a whole hour. You know what I'm saying? Just, listening to crazy beats. You know what I'm saying? Ill beats. And that's how I come, and that's how I get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it because of, oh, damn, what sample is that? Or I might hear, like, I'll tell you an example for what you speak of, though. Like, sometimes I might send, and it's not to August Fanon, but I have sent a Klondike commercial to a producer to loop some shit up for me. You know what I'm saying? I was in the crib cleaning up, and I heard some shit. I'm like, man, what the fuck is that? Ooh, I went and had to rewind shit. I'm like, oh my God, I have to use this. So I went and looked it up, YouTubed it, and sent it to my engineer. And next thing you know, I come to the studio with a glorious, the song ain't out yet, but it's beautiful. And I can't, you know what I'm saying? That's like, it happens either way, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, but most of the time, it's August Fanon just sending me mad shit. And I'm like, this sounds great. Now I know what to do with it.
So you told me on Twitter to do my homework. I did you one, I did you one better. I kept my ear to the street. Now, there's a DJ out in London. Again, there's a DJ out in London by the name of DJ Johnny Rebel. And he puts out what we would consider mixtapes, right? I don't know if we still calling them mixtapes, but I'm going to call it a mixtape. So he put out a mix weekly, right? He always tags me in it. I always share it, so you'll be able to find it on Twitter. And I can't, hold on. Let me get to the album because I want to do this right for the fans. You got a joint with my man from overseas.
Sonny Jim.
Yeah, Sonny Jim. And that album is Spencer for Hire 2. So
yeah, we got 1 and 2 out right now, yeah.
So you got a new joint right now that's banging from London to the US. I heard it from a DJ in London. It got you, Sonny Jim, and damn it, who else was on that track with you?
It's Kingpin?
Nope. It was someone else, and it blew my mind because, again, I don't look at the playlist. I'm going to come back to that. One of y'all shoot him a question real quick because I'm going to come back to that.
All right, Vic, we talked about producers. MF Doom, you said Alchemist. Who else do you like on the producer side?
I like the Neptunes.
Okay. I dig that.
I like Swiss Beats. We Are the Street Swiss Beats, that era.
Yeah. He still got it, though. He still got it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But that era was, that shit was nuts, beyond nuts. Like, even on the mixtape scene, he was going crazy. On the volume 2, he was going crazy. On the Rough Riders volume 2, he was on fire. So, that era. Like some guy. I like Derringer. I like Count Bass D. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's dope too.
Man, I like a lot. Man, producers are. You know, I love to be all the producers' best friends. Like,
let me ask you this question though. Would you? You know what I think would be crazy? You and Gun doing a joint.
Yeah, man. Hey, Westside Gun sat in his very seat that I'm sitting in right now. And you know, he told me I got a great ear for beats. I thought that was dope to hear from him right there in my face, like right there. Like he told me that. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? And I think like it's been a lot of like everybody like Griselda is hot right now. Like I've been one of the guys that's been fucking with him from day one type shit. But you know, I love to see the extension. But when you look at Westside Gunn, he's the total package. You know what I'm saying? I got him as my number one in the Griselda realm. You know what I'm saying? He's the total package. He got the charisma. He got the beats. He put together the best beats ever. And for somebody else that's at that higher rank and they come out in the backseat of your car and they're listening to an album that's not out yet. And they say, man, I respect your ear. And I say, whoa, what the fuck? This shit is epic. You know what I'm saying? No, it lets me know I'm doing something, man. So hell yeah, man. Man, that's I'm
hey. That's what's up because me, I'm a person. I love beats myself. I love beats, and on your joint from the first to the end, every last beat was fire. Yeah, it wasn't nothing boring, wasn't nothing loud. It was all tropical fire beats and everything. So definitely your ear is wicked. Man, you have a wicked ear for the beats, bro.
Man, appreciate that.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna shoot you a text about who was on that joint with you, man. Because I know when you do a joint, you send it out, and how it come out is how it come out. But I just wanted to make sure that I plugged that you're reaching overseas, brother. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Appreciate that. I feel like, man, quality. Working with Sonny Jim, I think that's the best route you can go. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Sonny Jim is probably one of the best real rounded MCs out there in the UK. You know what I'm saying? He produced, he rapped. Why not? You know what I'm saying? He got the total package. He's great at it too. So it's like I've never met him too, and I got albums with him. So you just see what can transpire when you strike a match. You know what I'm saying? And the ideas work. And you know what I'm saying? All this shit comes from just working with people, just fucking with people in general. You know what I'm saying? Somebody say you should fuck with Sonny Jim. I'm gonna go check him out and fuck with him. And if, you know what I'm saying, I don't fuck with him, then it won't happen. But, you know, that wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying? It's time to go. Let's go. He fucked with Quelle Chris. That was one of the
That's my dude. I like that dude a lot.
When he did that, when I saw he worked with Quelle Chris, then I was like, okay, I know what this is. This is it right here. I look at Quelle Chris like myself, like he's a reflection in the mirror. Like he's one of those guys that he's got a crazy ear for beats. He in his own lane. I love that shit. It's highly respected. At this time in the game, it's highly respected.
Absolutely.
If we speak of Quelle Chris, he did production on St. Gregory. He did the Going Fishing, the part 1, 2, and 3.
Yo, so that was one of the most creative fucking out of space thinking. Man. The whole storyline from you having to clean up the blood. I don't be doing this shit. The fucking ad-libs that you be putting on shit. You be like, man, get the fuck out of my face. Fucking up my energy. Yo, I got one more, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna try to get this out, done, produced as quick as I can, man, because this shit is fire.
Man, whatever y'all got, man, fire that shit off. I ain't got nothing but time right now.
No doubt. You had expressed vividly about how you a sneakerhead.
Right.
Does your wife respect your collection? No. Let me rephrase that. Let me paint the picture this way. My wife has no sneaker culture. None. All the fly kicks you see her with is because of me. Now it's not to say she don't have good taste. She got great taste, but she's not of the culture. Yep. So I've been through some really trying times in my life, you know what I mean, where my money was going other places. You know, I got jealous over my son. My mother bought him a pair of motherfucking, what was it, the 12s? No. The 6s. They were like gray and white. They brought the Bugs Bunny back to promote those motherfuckers. I was hot because I was broke and he had a pair and I couldn't have a motherfucking pair. Scorpio or Betty. When my legal dramas dried up, and I stepped my game up to get some paper, I was able to start buying kicks, right? So I'm buying kicks and I'm stashing them shits. Remember a few years ago when they re-released the flu games?
Mm-hmm.
I was on a cruise. I was going to Mexico at the time. I called my best, again, shout out Jarvis. I called Jarvis in the clutch. I'm scared as fuck because at this point, I never ordered sneakers. And I don't live in the hood, but I don't trust nobody. I don't trust the motherfucking delivery man. That motherfucker can shake the box and be like, nah, hold on. So to make a long story short, I'm buying, just the classic joints I could never get my hands on as a kid. So the flu games, the infrared sixes. But the reason what the story about the flu games was they came out during the summer. I ain't put them shits on until like November, December of that year. So from her perspective, she's like, yo, you buying sneakers and ain't wearing them. I'm like, baby, first off, I'm buying the sneakers that I couldn't get. I'm not rocking these shits all the time.
Mm-hmm.
This is my collection. Like niggas collect baseball cards. I collect fitteds, watches, and sneakers. So she'll come in the closet, every once in a blue, she'll come in the closet. What you doing? Why you? Because you're not of the culture. Do you go through that bullshit with your wife as well?
Man, I got to sneak sneakers in the crib. It's as simple as that, G. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I say it in the songs, you know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy. That shit is wicked, man, wicked. I got to sneak them shits. I got to have them already laced. Like, I've gotten to my comfort of buying shoes, sitting in the car, lacing them how I would wear them, and put them and sneak them in the crib. So that way, when I'm putting them on, they already laced. You already know I keep my shit clean. I ain't never seen those. I keep them clean though, baby. That's all. That's definitely me. You know what I'm saying? My wife not into sneakers like that too. I think, just like you said your wife, she not unless she get the sneakers from me, she don't fuck with the sneakers like that. She's into dressing up type shit, you know what I'm saying? And we're like the perfect contrast, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I got all the sneakers, she got all of the pumps and all of the she wear Air Maxes and shit like that shit, you know what I'm saying? She got the raw Air Maxes, you know what I'm saying? She got the raw, she got the raw looking Uggs and all that shit, the raw shit, you know what I'm saying? Got the, like, if you got your shit, but it's a different, you can see a different shit, but it remind you of your shit. That's what she got. She got one of them type shit. But I gotta sneak my shit in the crib. I just got the all white Sacai's. I snuck them shits in the crib. You know what I'm saying? And then I be giving myself away because the quarantine got me watching sneaker reviews and shit.
I know where they coming from.
Hey, the quarantine got me watching sneaker reviews. I ain't never did it. I ain't never had time to do that. So, you know what I'm saying? I watch the sneaker reviews. I got my sneakers. I'm in the crib trying my shit on, watching sneaker reviews, and I'm giving myself away because I don't have the sneakers yet sometimes when I'm watching the sneaker reviews. So when I'm watching the all-white sneaker, the Sacai's, I'm like, ooh, I got to have those. So I got them, and now I snuck them in the crib. That's the latest pair.
That's so, yo. And I'm gonna keep it 100, man. On the album, you said, yo, man, I got some kicks that'll fucking nigga head up. And I would love to take a tour of that collection, brother. But y'all say rest in peace too often for me, so I'm gonna stay my black ass where I'm at.
You want me to go in the crib and show you that shit?
Nah. Yo,
you can send us a video of it.
Word up. Shoot me a video of it.
Yeah, you make a video, we take that then.
And I'll put it, we'll edit it.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a little quick. It's a nice little view from the bed, you know what I'm saying? Like it look like you're looking at if you're living in a high-rise penthouse, you know what I'm saying? When I look over to the bed, I just see a rack of sneakers just this high. You know what I'm saying? It's my high rise, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, Vic, man, we got 2 minutes before this wraps. Yo, brother, this has been the fucking illest, man. I can't wait to get this out and promote it. Yo, thank you, bro.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Thank you very much, bro. We definitely appreciate
you, man.
Yes, sir.
The love, the energy, everything. Like, definitely appreciate it.
Keep that heat coming, bro. For real.
Man, I got some shit dropping on 420.
Listen, before we got 2 minutes. This is what I wrote in the beginning. Vic Spencer, in big words, cannot be contained.
I'm fucking with it. Yeah.
Thank you. That's what it's like, because just the styles.
Hey, yo, Vic.
Yeah.
I just want you to know, bro, I'm not above blackmailing. You said you was putting that album back on. I'm gonna need that.
Yeah, I'm putting that motherfucker back on. Yeah, it's my word. I got time to do it now, man. That's my word. I'm gonna put that shit back on.
That's St. Gregory, right?
St. Gregory.
Yeah, I'll be looking
St. Gregory joint. I got you.
We're gonna need that. We definitely gonna need that.
No doubt.
Yeah, I got an album dropping on 420 called No Shine Skimps, dedicated to the trees. You know what I'm saying?
What's it called?
It got 20 joints on there.
What's it called?
No Shine Skimps.
No Shine Skimps. All right, we on it.
No Shine
listen.
Skimps.
Whenever you want to drop something, whenever you want to, let us know. Like, yo, just hit me, B. Hit me on the text, inbox, whatever it may be. Yo, man, if I sing, will you do a drop for us? Because we like to promote as much as possible, man. So in between, conversations and shit, we always do a drop from an artist that we fuck with. You mind doing a drop for us and sending it to us?
Yeah. What you want me to say?
All I'm gonna do is give you the slogan. I want Vic Spencer to say what
exactly.
Vic Spencer said.
How you gonna ask him to say what you want him to say? You need you to say it.
This is you.
Vic Spencer, y'all. Vic Spencer
in the building. Shout out. Peace. Shout out, Vic Spencer.
Yes, sir. Salute, sir.
Salute, sir.
All day, in a minute. Love, y'all.
Love.